So Apple just updated my favorite computer of all time, the MacBook Air. They've done this with their latest M3 processor. So what comes in the box, and is it any good? Let's find out. I can't wait to open this up. Now, I would like to start this video off by saying thank you to Apple for letting me borrow this MacBook Air. Now, I did purchase one myself. It will be here in a couple of days. Until then, we'll be checking out this one. So step one, obviously we got to get it out of the box. I'm very excited. Since the M1 MacBook Air was released, I've compared like every computer to this series, so I'm always excited when they update it. Plus, there's a few things in here that I think they fixed. Hey, it's Editing Gary here, and I am working on the video that you see, the unboxing video. And yes, I noticed that the autofocus on the overhead camera doesn't look too great, so I apologize. We'll get through it together. It doesn't change anything about the laptop, but that's why we use manual focus most of the time, right? So, okay, back to the video. Like every problem that I've ever had with this computer. So the specific model we'll be unboxing today is the 13-inch MacBook Air with the midnight finish, which should be a little bit better than last time with the frustrations we had. It's got 16 gigabytes unified memory and a 512 gigabyte solid-state drive. But let's get the most important part. Ooh, that's pretty good. That's a pretty good opening right there. Just enough friction to make it interesting. I get it. You hear me say this every unboxing. I'm a sucker for good packaging. And Apple has pretty good packaging. Okay, here we go. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Okay, so physically, it's going to be very similar to last year's model, but let's see if there's any new things in the box today. So you'll still get the braided cable with the MagSafe to USB-C. I used to not use the MagSafe charger at all, but very recently on my travels, I've started using the MagSafe cable to free up other ports to charge my other devices, because I don't like bringing too many cables, so it's a daisy chain of things. Long story long, the braided cable's pretty great. We also get the power adapter. Now, there are a few different power adapters that you can get. This is the dual charger, which you can't see it right now, but I actually have 2 of them set up in my office right now, and I always have one of these in my travel bag with me. Again, I purchased it myself. Nobody gave them to me, but this is one of my favorite adapters ever. It doesn't have the most oomph for charging, but it's pretty good. So, what else do we get? Do we get some cool stickers this time around? We get midnight colored stickers. That's pretty cool. I like that. We get some documentation about stuff that nobody reads or necessarily cares about. So, excellent, excellent, excellent. No change. Let's check out the laptop. That midnight looks good. They said there's a new coating on here that's supposed to be like the space black MacBooks from the Pro lineup that released last year. So we'll have to see how it holds up to fingerprints over time, but I am, personally, after last year's model, I think I would only ever get Starlight Silver, stuff like that. I get a lot, I read your comments when you're like, oh, fingerprints don't matter that much. It matters to me, right? I hate smudges. I hate when my tech looks sloppy. I try to present a professional appearance when I'm out traveling for work, so it is important to me. The body construction of the latest version of the MacBook Air is just fantastic. You'll continue to notice there's no fans in here, much like we've seen since the M1 MacBook Air. No fan. We'll have to see over time like how the M3 handles that. Got your little nubs here to make sure it doesn't move around. We got headphone jack. We got 2 USB and the power for MagSafe. Feels very light. I mean, it's a well-constructed laptop. I've never held a MacBook and been like, wow, this thing's built very poorly. Okay. Boom. I love that bum. It just sounds good. You'll notice we still do not have top firing speakers on the MacBook Air. One of the reasons that you would go to a Pro is, it's not that the audio quality is bad, but it is generally not as good as you'll get from those Pro speakers. Those Pro speakers are fantastic, but the screen looks great. It really, this is a 13-inch laptop. They did let me borrow the 13-inch version, but it feels so much bigger than 13-inch laptops as I remember them growing up. Let's set this thing up. I love that accessibility is right up front. You may have thought I was kidding when I said I would talk about that every time. I will talk about that every time because it's great. Ooh, the keyboard? I was so impressed with how the keyboard felt, I typed in my Wi-Fi password incorrectly. The keyboard still feels great. Listen to that. That's a good feeling keyboard, especially for one so thin. The trackpad, Apple has the best trackpads in the business. It is. And here's my iPhone 15 Pro Max. Look at that. The trackpad is almost the same size as my gigantic cell phone. Like, I really like the build quality here. It seems like it's carrying on the legacy of just excellence. The one thing, and you'll have heard me say this in the M2 MacBook Air video, they did get rid of, because this is now more like the Pros, they got rid of that sloping angle that previous versions of the MacBook Air had. I do kind of miss that because it did make the laptop very comfortable to type on. One of the benefits, though, of the new MacBook Air is that it's so slim, you don't really notice it too much, but I notice it because I have to deal with these laptops so much. But the most important thing that we have to check right now, like we can't wait any longer. Hold on, what you just wait right there. Okay, so the most important part that we need to check is, so here's my current desk setup, right? You can see it, it's 2 monitors, it's my gaming monitor and it's my Apple Studio display. So they are supposed to have updated this so that now the MacBook Air works with 2 monitors when the lid is closed. So this is initial impressions. I'm just taking this and I'm plugging it in first time. Did they fix my issues? Okay, we got the one display. Now here we go. Oh, look at that, it worked. So now we've got a MacBook Air that does 2 displays. Now I know everybody out there is probably like, oh Gary, that's not that big of a deal. That is awesome. I've been complaining about this for literal years at this point, and now you can get a MacBook Air that will work in most people's home office. Yes, if you're a 3-4 person monitor, it's not gonna work as well, right? You're not gonna have your wall of monitors, but I use 2 monitors. I think the majority of multi-monitor users are using 2, and now you can use the MacBook Air to do that. That's awesome. Yes, you could always use 2 monitors if you left the laptop open and then use an external monitor. I don't consider that 2 monitors. This is 2 monitors. Ah, that's so good. Okay, let's go back to the desk before I nerd out here about dual monitors. Okay, back here. So initial impressions, obviously we're gonna run some more things on here. We're gonna check some more things out about the MacBook Air, but I am very impressed. I mean, build quality wise, I'm always impressed by MacBook Airs. So if you're looking for a revolution, there's only one really revolutionary feature inside of this thing, and that's the dual monitors. Like, I'm very happy they finally came out with that. Like, that was such a huge problem that I can't believe it took this long to do, but I am happy to see that Apple was able to update that. Build quality, it's the same build quality as last year. It's fantastic. You're not seeing any new like hardware features. You're not seeing anything new. It's an evolution on previous models, and we'll have to see how that processor is working in future videos. But you in the comments below, let me know what you'd like to see out of the M3 MacBook Air. We will make a series of videos because it's my favorite laptop. Like, I have to talk about it because it's my favorite, right? And thank you for watching.